The reason I don't like to use words like quantum is because I don't like bringing my spiritual and magical practice into the realm of science. And it's not because I see those things as being opposed to science. You look at the phrase occult sciences, there was a point in time where the occult was science. I don't feel the need to try and validate what I do through scientific explanations. The scientific establishment works off the assumption that reality is material, that consciousness rises from matter, that we can eventually figure consciousness out by looking at the brain. I think that has the order of things completely reversed. And it shuts the mind off to broader and deeper realities that can't be seen if you aren't at the very least open to seeing them. Slipping into quantum mechanics, I don't see quantum mechanics as a solution to traditional physics. I don't see it correcting the materialist perspective on the world. I think it is as far as we can go in our collective understanding of things within the materials model. And I don't think that it's going to bring about the marriage of spirituality, magic, and science that a lot of people are hoping for, unless it radically transforms or it reduces our understanding of the world down to mush and paves the way for something new and greater and more holistic to take its place. The scientific establishment has been searching for a viable theory of everything for a very long time. It's never going to find it because this is a co-creative reality that is not static. There is a reality that exists outside of my individual consciousness, just like there's a reality that exists outside of your individual consciousness. But there is no such thing as a reality that is not changed by having been observed. It may change in ways that are completely imperceptible to us, but just by the act of existing and experiencing life, we are changed by it and we also change it. I don't feel a need to put a label on what I do. If anything, I think trying to define things too much, it distorts results that stand on their own. It is me trying to dictate how the results of my workings are seen. And I can also tell you, yeah, Reiki automatically falls into the realm of the quantum. So does any spell work I do. You can't do distance Reiki without taking something like quantum entanglement into account. Now, I don't have the slightest idea how that works. Quantum physicists will tell you that they don't understand quantum physics. I remember watching a lecture by a quantum physicist who was standing up in front of his classroom, and he said something along the lines of that he did not understand quantum physics, and that by the end of the semester, nobody else in that classroom would either. I don't use the language because I would feel like a complete fraud doing so, because I know the limits of my own understanding. And I know that I would only be adopting these terms because they sell. I don't like how a lot of this language gets trendy, and it goes in cycles in terms of what moves product and what moves workshops. And This is not to downplay the good work of people who call themselves quantum healers, who are amazing individuals, and their modalities are incredible in terms of the results that they get. It doesn't fit with me. I would rather use language that is older, more well defined in terms of spirituality and mythology. I think mythology is something that is greatly overlooked in terms of its importance. I think that the stories that have built our religions, our civilizations, and our practices are consciousness expanding in ways that even a lot of people in the occult field and the healing field don't fully appreciate. And when something works, I don't need to call it anything at all. Especially when I'm doing it on behalf of someone else. They will find the words to tell me how they perceive it and how the work impacted them and how it's taken shape in their lives. And I like working within that sort of liminal space. I like working within that mystery. The quest of science to come up with ultimate answers, I think, is antithetical to the entire point of this journey that we're all on as incarnate co-creators moving through life together. The end of mystery is the end of growth. It is the end of evolution. And it's also the end of our ability to gain an increasing amount of mastery over ourselves and over this world, this universe that we all occupy. So I will maintain a strong interest in the sciences. And I'm going to continue listening to quantum mechanics lectures and so on, but I don't know that my understanding is ever going to increase beyond what it currently is. I always find myself thinking this sounds fascinating, and I don't think that I could explain a lick of this to anybody else, and I'm not sure that that guy even knows what he just said. It might not be the most marketable approach, but it is the one that best suits me. I like the liminal spaces, and I've grown to enjoy saying, wow, that sounds cool, but I don't get it.